Jeff from Chillin and Grillin with Jeff here, and we're back for part 2 of barbecuing with the BBQ Pit Boys. Last time we had too much fun. My buddy Jason and I didn't get a chance to get in front of the grill, and I promised her we would. So we're gonna head over there right now and see what's cooking. As always, don't forget to follow me on Instagram with Chillin and Grillin with Jeff. So you're apparently not just the looks of the operation, you're a cook as well.
Oh yeah,
There you go. So I see a pork butt. I'm going to just let you go from here.
I mean, people do pork butts all the time. They're very forgiving. If you're getting into smoking or you're just starting, pork butts are a good way to go because you literally can't mess it up. Not a whole lot to it, but we're going to do a little different where we're going to inject this with the Chillin lime and salt beer.
Nice.
Give it a little tang, a little saltiness. So to start off, all we're going to do is just, I guess, have a shot of whiskey.
Pass it down. Let's go.
All right. You're not staying out, are you?
I'm having a shot.
So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna put some mustard on here, just as a binder to help the seasoning stick to it. You don't need a lot. When you cook it, you're not gonna taste it anyway. So people always wonder if you're gonna taste it. You won't taste the mustard. And then we're gonna use our pork privilege seasoning.
So a lot of different seasonings going on.
Yep.
You're the kind of guy packaging all this. Tell us a little bit about some of the differences. What makes these rubs kind of stand out?
So what makes them stand out is we really focus on enhancing the flavor of the meat that you're cooking. So we're not trying to mask it, we're not trying to change the flavor. All of our seasonings, we kind of have a line like the poultry and the pork and big Texan and stuff. So like the pork is obviously for your ribs, pork butts, anything pork related. Poultry is good on chicken. We're gonna do some chicken wings in a bit. But what it really does is just enhances the flavor. So we're not changing it, we're just enhancing it. And I think that's why they've become so popular.
I love it. Yeah, I've been staying away from a lot of rubs myself because it becomes all you taste.
Yeah.
So you want to taste the meat.
Yeah, we'd rather enhance the meat taste than cover it up. We do a lot of events and stuff, and when we do ribs and things like that, people say it's the best ribs they've ever had. And you can get these at your local grocery store all across the country. So we're just gonna put a bit on there just so it's nicely covered, flip it over, and we're gonna do the same thing. Mustard as a binder.
So when I'm looking to buy a pork butt, is there anything particular I'm looking for, or?
If you can find it, what you really want to find is a bone-in pork butt.
Yeah.
They're a little harder to find, but if you go to your local butcher shop, they'll probably have them.
And that's for the obvious reasons: bone-in chicken, bone-in beef, bone-in pork, more flavor,
more flavor. It sticks. Like if you look at this here, you can see. So this is a boneless pork butt, but you can see how it's kind of flimsy and kind of falls apart a little bit, right? Whereas the bone-in ones, they don't do that. They hold together a lot better. For the injection part, we're gonna take our beer, and then to start off, we're just gonna take it right out of the can. And yeah, you just wanna shove it in there and...
That's gonna add some flavor. And will you let this sit for a while, or will it go right on?
No, we can throw it right in. Because we're cooking at a lower temperature, like we're gonna cook it at about 275-ish.
Okay.
To render the fat properly. If you cook it too hot, then the fat will actually burn and it won't render properly, and you lose a lot of flavor by doing that. And if you cook it too low, the opposite happens.
All right.
Right?
So what will you do? Will you put a whole can in here?
Yeah, put a can or maybe two.
Maybe two. Love it.
It's gonna blow it up nicely. It'll leak out.
You can see it kind of blowing up as well. Yeah.
After we let it cook for a while, and when we go to wrap it, we're gonna do it again.
Oh, okay.
So
we've got one on. We're going to learn about wrapping it. What's the right time to do all that sort of thing. So we'll finish this one up.
Yep.
Throw it on the grill, and we'll take a look at the other one.
Gonna throw this in.
We threw the other one on. We're going to check the temperature on this one. What temperature are we looking for?
We're looking for about 164, 165 internal. That way we know that the fat's rendered through the meat. The meat's technically almost cooked, and then when we wrap it, all we're trying to do is just kind of soften it.
All right, let's check it out and see.
Yeah, we're there now. We're good.
Temperature's good everywhere? That looks amazing.
Good.
So this is kind of a cool shot. This one just went on. This one's ready to come off with the magic of TV.
Yeah. So we're actually going to use our BBQ Pit Boys meat claws. If you don't have these things, they're crazy handy. So we're just going to take it off.
So this is essentially what we just put on, but this one's been on for how long now?
This one's been on for about 3.5 hours.
Okay, and what do we want to do with it now?
All we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little moisture in, so we're gonna stick with our the Chillin lime salt beer, and we're gonna pour it over top. We're gonna actually inject a little bit more into it, and then we're gonna cover it, and then we're gonna put it back in.
So what do we accomplish by covering it now as opposed to leaving it on the way it was?
If you leave it on the way it was, it'll dry out. Like your pork will dry
So
out.
it's essentially cooked at this point by adding some moisture, steaming it somewhat. We're going to just kind of
Yeah.
loosen it up, loosen the meat up, and finish it off with a lot of moisture. As
Yeah,
opposed to drying
pulled
it
pork,
off.
you want it when it's finished, you want it to tear right apart, nice and juicy, dripping with the meat. And,
All right, let's get it done
All right.
while it's nice and
so all
hot.
we're gonna do, we're just gonna pour a little beer over top, and then we're gonna inject some extra in there.
You can see it blowing up
It still
right?
blows
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yep, still blows up.
See it running out the sides, adding a lot of flavor, a
Yeah.
lot of juice.
It'll be
How
really good.
How much longer will we throw it back on for?
About a couple hours. You want to take it to about 208, 205, 208, somewhere in there, internal temperature. But what you're really looking for is just that probe tenderness. When you're cooking with pork or anything else, they'll try and go by time. Everyone's like, oh, I need a 3, 2, 1, you know, 3, 2, 1 method.
It'll let you know when it's ready.
Yeah, the meat will let you know when it's ready. And the best way to tell is just you want it probe tender, kind of like you're putting the probe into a piece of butter. And some people wrap, like you can just lay your foil across the table and wrap the
Just
pork.
kind of tenting it as opposed
Yeah,
to...
this way we're just tenting it because we want to keep all the juices in and we want to know that we don't have any leaks. And you always want to go shiny side up.
Why is that?
So you go shiny side up when you wrap stuff, or if you're racking a rack of ribs, you want shiny side in because the shiny side actually deflects the heat. You want it to kind of absorb. So we're just gonna make sure it's sealed up all good, nice and tight.
So my only question is this: when do we get to eat all this food?
This one will be ready probably about an hour, hour and a half.
All right.
For this one.
Let's throw it on the grill. All right, smash burgers, I'm guessing.
Yes.
By the way you smash your burger,
Yeah.
I'm guessing smash burgers. So, a lot of controversy in the grill world on smash
yeah.
burgers now. I
Yeah.
could line up 10 guys that have 20 different ways to do a smash burger.
Yeah.
What's your way?
When it comes to the meat, you're gonna go standard old school 80-20. Lean ground beef will work.
Yeah.
It's more about the size that you make the smash burger.
All right. Well, you
So-
sound like you know what you're talking about. So let's make some.
Yeah, so we're gonna dig in. I mean, it's super, super simple. We're just gonna pull out some beef, throw it in a bowl. Just gonna smush it around a little bit so that when we season it, we can, cover
I
more.
don't want to overwork it.
Yeah, you don't want to disturb it too much. For this, we're gonna use our Big Texan. So the beauty thing about the Big Texan, we're enhancing the flavor of the beef.
Right.
We're not trying to cover it up.
Right. Okay.
So with this rub on a steak or a ribeye, anything beef related, it'll bring out the beef flavor, but it will also add a little sweetness.
All right.
So we're gonna throw this in here. You don't need a whole lot. We're gonna cover the first layer kind of, and then we're just gonna flip it over.
And again, I like that you're not overworking the beef. You
No, I don't
wanna-
want to disturb it too much, right? So we're gonna season it again, and then all we're gonna do is just mix it a little bit, mix it together. And then for the burger size, we're looking for a traditional smash burger, usually about 4 ounces.
All right. Seems a bit light, 4 ounces.
But you actually want to go lighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to do like a gangbuster smash burger, you want to be about 2 to 2.5 ounces.
Oh, really? All right.
So that'll give you a nice thin patty once you smash it down, nice thin patty, and then you'll get that crust around the outside.
So the debate I have, or not debate, but the discussion is, a smash burger is not just squishing a hamburger. There's some science behind trapping in the juice, caramelizing. There's a lot of science behind a proper smash burger.
Yeah, and everybody does them different ways, and everyone's trying to perfect them all the time. But what I like is just a simple, like medium high to high heat, throw a little butter down, put the onions down, and we're gonna put about a 2.5 to 3 ounce patty down, and then we're gonna squish them all together. And that should give us a nice crust on the edge without burning the butter or burning the onion.
All right, let's do it.
So
Yeah.
give it a shot. So 2.5, 3 ounces is much. Like you're
Not
you just
huge. Not a huge
yeah,
burger.
not huge. Yeah, you don't want anything huge. That's about it right there.
A little smaller than average, I think, than what we see for a burger.
Yeah, you want like a little bit bigger than a golf ball, kind of. It's what you want to go after. And then the beauty about smash burgers is if you're entertaining a lot like we do, like we try to entertain a lot of people, and this stuff is fast, it's easy to make, and it's delicious for burgers.
All right, well, let's put a few together. I see some smoke coming off the grill.
She's ready.
We're gonna see a bowl of onions.
Yep.
Let's put it together.
All right.
All right, so we got a nice hot grill. You got some butter. You got a little bit of oil. The oil's gonna cut the flash point of the butter, I'm guessing.
Yep. We're gonna throw that down, and then we're gonna throw the onions down. So what you really want to get the onions like as thin as you can get them.
All right. So already though, a lot of guys don't use an onion. There's sort of already we split the camp. Onion users, non-onion users.
Yeah. Now you got to put the onions down. It doesn't come out the same if you don't. It adds so much flavor to the smash burger. It's the only way to do it.
Nice and thin, paper thin.
Yeah, you want them paper thin. Ideally, if you have a meat slicer, that's the best way to do it, is to run them through a meat slicer, and they'll come out razor thin. These we just did with a knife, so they're a little bit thicker than you'd like, but it's still gonna come out good. Take your patty, set it right in the middle of the onions, and then you want to get yourself a heavy weight. Like
this is the exacting point right now. This is where it all comes down.
This is where it happens. It either works or it doesn't work.
Part.
So it's like, I'm gonna push that down as soon as you can.
So I love that the grill's nice and hot. I love the onion in there. Oh, nice.
There
Nicely
we go.
done, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're looking for.
So we want that caramelization. Already at the grill's hot enough. We see the onions caramelizing.
Yeah.
We want to get that crust on the burger.
Yeah, and we're gonna let it go for like 2-3 minutes, and then when the outsides start to go a little brown, then we're gonna flip it, and then we're gonna put our cheese on.
Out of all the things we've cooked or are going to cook today, I'm pretty happy about this smash burger.
Yeah, man. If you're entertaining a lot of people, this is it's going to be the best burger. It's way better than frozen burgers.
And it's the biggest debate on the grill these days. There's a lot of conversation about smash burgers. Everybody's got a science.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, burgers are a religion. It's not just about the burger itself, it's about the bun. There's only one bun we can use for a burger.
Potato bun.
You got it here. That's it. The only bun.
The old school potato bun.
Toast it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're just going to toast it up a little bit, not too much, just enough to soften it. And then when we flip that burger over, we're going to put the cheese on and just straight American cheddar. And then we're going to put the bun on top of the cheese.
Some things you don't mess with. Just simplicity.
So this one, you can see you're getting a little bit of a crust around the edge here, starting to form. We're going to flip this guy over. Oh yeah, look at the crust, right? That is a smash burger right there. Now that we flipped it over, we're going to take our American cheddar.
Good old American cheddar, nothing
Good old
fancy.
American cheddar.
Yep.
And then we're actually going to take the bun, and we're going to put it on top. And then we're going to take the other bun and set it like that.
Oh, so you've really got a science going on.
A little bit,
There's a way to do this, for sure. I love it. I love it.
I find when you put the bun on like that, even though the cheese is on top of it, but you're getting a little bit of that flavor into the bun.
Yeah.
Like as it's all the fats and the juices.
So you're not going to smother this with ketchup and relish?
Not going to put anything on it.
No. Why ruin a good thing for
Just
sure?
old school.
Yeah.
Cheese, meat, onions, bun. That's it.
That's a hamburger right there.
Yeah.
Oh, when this one's done, you and I will chop it up. A little bit of chef's treat. We'll try it. Then we'll cook some up for the crowd.
We call that pitmaster privilege.
Pitmaster privilege.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. Chef's
Get
treat.
the first bite before,
exactly.
before the crowd. Yeah.
And we're not going to apologize for that.
We're not apologizing for it. Definitely not. So we're just going to put the bun there. We're going to take this off.
Oh, look at that.
And that's the burger.
That is a happy burger.
It.
That is a happy
Yeah.
burger. Well, it's raining.
It's pouring.
It's coming down pretty hard. That won't keep us away from the grill for sure.
No, not at all.
It's all about the smash burger.
Yeah.
Let's give this a try. We got a crowd forming, but
All
you
right.
know, chef's treat, pitmaster privilege, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I should say some great things about this right now, but I'm just gonna dig in.
It's a good burger.
It is.
Yeah.
We were gonna make some for everybody else. Nothing to see here. I'd share that with you, but I'm not gonna.
The onions really make
Oh,
the difference.
That's
you know?
what it is. Yeah.
Wow.
We got another one cooking up for you over there. Cheers. All right, what barbecue would be complete without chicken wings?
Exactly,
I can't
right?
think of too many, so I'm guessing with all these rubs, you got one that we're going to use.
Yes, we're going to use our Poultry Perfection. It works great on chicken wings, really good on whole chickens, turkeys, any kind of thing
Any
like
kind
that.
of poultry.
And it goes a long way. So there's almost a pound in a bottle, but I mean, you could do a whole chicken with a couple of ounces.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
All
it goes
right,
a long
okay.
way.
So
Yeah.
what are we going to do with these chicken wings here?
We're not really going to do much to them. We're just going to pat them dry, and then we're going to season them. We're going to throw them in the smoker, but the way it's going to end up is we're going to put them in a cast iron pan. So we're using whole chicken wings, Then we're gonna kind of put them in the cast iron pan like this, so they're sticking up like little handles.
All right.
And then we're gonna fill that cast iron pan with cheese and bacon.
Of course we are.
Of course,
Of course, right?
It's gonna be good.
All right.
It's really good.
Let's season them up and get them cooking.
All right, so we're just gonna give it a
What do you think, Angie? Does
quick
this
little
pass
pat.
your inspection?
Anything that's barbecued or grilled is good with me. Like, there's no wrong way to do it.
All right, Des.
And that's pitmaster privilege.
There we
really.
go. Absolutely.
That's,
Absolutely.
you do what you want.
interesting thing. You know, you get together with your buddies and you grill in your backyard, right? So BBQ Pit Boys, we have chapters all over the world. There's probably about 18,000 different registered
No kidding.
groups. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what it is. It's groups of guys just get together and
Just
they're.
like to cook food, good
Yep.
food, and all right.
Yep.
So I noticed you're not using a ton of, like you said, you're not using a lot.
No,
of,
you don't need a lot. No.
You're coating them good, giving them a healthy coat, but
Yeah.
not going crazy.
You just want to change the color a little bit. Then we'll just
We're
toss
going
them
to throw
in
them on the smoker, and we'll
Yep.
give them some time to get happy.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
So we're gonna smoke these at about 325-ish. Probably take a couple hours, and then, like I said, after we're done this here, we'll spritz them halfway through with just a beer. The butter works really good too. A lot of guys will just butter base the wings. Adds a lot of flavor.
Crisp them up a bit.
Yeah. We're gonna put this in the cast iron pan after, and then we're gonna heat it really hot to melt the cheese, and
So that'll finish them off nice.
yeah, it'll finish them off nice. Yeah. Then it's like a plate of handles. You can.
And I
just
love the fact that we're
pass
using
it.
whole chicken wings, not just the tips or the.
Yeah,
the
we're
drums.
using the whole chicken wing. Like we want to be able to have it like a handle. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean? So
right?
you can.
All right, they're all seasoned up,
There
ready to
you
go.
go.
All right, let's give them
That's
some
it.
time to get happy. All right, so our chicken wings have been smoked. They look already incredible. I'd be happy.
Hang
to
on,
eat-
wait.
What?
Takes these broken wings and put them in the pan and make a beautiful dish. Woo!
Let's do that.
All right,
now.
let's get to it now.
Let's do that. I'd be happy to dig into the wings the way they are now, but
They'd be
I've heard
delicious,
so
yeah.
much of these cast iron pan. So, what do we
Yeah.
call these?
So these are cheesy bacon pan wings.
Cheesy bacon pan wings.
Yeah, one of the old school videos from the BBQ Pit Boys. It's one of our favorites for Super Bowl, stuff like that. If you love chicken wings, you're gonna love this because the chicken wings, you'll see they'll sit in here, and then we're gonna put it back in the smoker with the cheese, and it's literally just gonna simmer in that melted cheese.
All right, what
It's
can I
gonna
do
be
to
super
help?
good.
Besides
First thing
watch?
we're gonna do is chop up the bacon. Bacon, it doesn't have, you can be whatever size you want, right? So we're gonna take our pan and we're actually gonna set the chicken wings up so that the handles, like the wings there, are facing up.
All right,
Dump some of these in here.
make them easy to eat.
Yeah. Little handles sticking up. We're gonna use two different types of cheese here. We're gonna use a double cheddar and
go
a
ahead
matzo pizza
cover
type
that on.
cheddar. Yep, just sprinkle it all over. Oh, keep going.
Keep going? More?
You can never have enough cheese.
You can never have enough cheese. You can never have enough bacon. You can never have enough garlic. You can never have enough jalapeno peppers.
Speaking of bacon,
All right.
now we're gonna add some bacon to it. And then we're
We're gonna
good
throw
there.
that-
So
we're
now we're
throwing
just
that in
gonna
the
throw
smoker?
it back in the smoker. About 325 degrees.
Until it gets happy.
Basically until the cheese melts, and then we're good to go.
So we've had that pork on there for what? More than 20 minutes?
Yeah, a little bit more than 20 minutes.
been-
Yeah, it's
been a few
about
hours?
6-7 hours. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
Yep,
See
should
if
be
we can
good.
grab some pulled pork sandwiches.
We'll temp it. What we're really looking for is like just buttery smoothness poking through, so you can see there's no real.
There's not so much temperature.
Not really,
the
no.
ease at which that
Yeah.
probes. Yep.
If you were thinking temperature, you'd be looking at 208 to 210, somewhere in
We're
there.
exactly in there. Yep.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and then you're gonna get that real nice, tender, juicy pork. Take it up.
So this is the one we poured the beer on. We injected it.
Yeah, we
Seasoned it all up.
injected it when we started. Then when we wrapped it, we poured more beer on it. We injected it with more beer, a little lime and sea salt beer.
And it's perfect. So we're gonna shred this up now.
We got the BBQ Pit Boys
You're the
bear
pro. I'll
claws.
let you get started. Show how these work. And
Yeah,
we'll,
so
yeah.
they're pretty cool. I mean, it's just easy for shredding stuff apart. You
Well,
can see
look
how
look
soft
how tender
that
that
is.
is. How soft. You left the juice in the pan because you
Left
want
the
that
juice
to
in the pan.
reabsorb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So now all we're gonna do is we're gonna shred it a little bit, and then the difference maker for pulled pork for people is you got to season it after you've pulled it apart.
Afterwards.
So we seasoned it before, but that's just on the outside. Now we want to hit the inside.
First
a
thing I
little.
noticed is how juicy that is. Not just because it was in the pan, but look at that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Crazy
incredible.
juicy. Seasoning it while you shred it just gives the inside some of that flavor, right?
So what do you do when you see these crispy ends like this? You don't leave those in, right?
Take 'em and you
have,
put
you
'em in
have
your
to take
mouth.
those out and you have to get rid of them.
100%. Yeah.
Oh wow, sweet.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. Oh man.
So we're gonna season it again with our pork privilege. That's what we started with on the outside, so we're gonna finish on the inside with the same thing. Yep, just season it, keep shredding, mix it around a little bit. Pork shoulder, pork butt, it's really good one for people starting, like getting into the barbecue.
You can't overcook it.
You can't overcook it, you know, it's very forgiving, so it's a good one to start with. Then we're just gonna season it a little bit more, then we'll just mix it all together and it'll be good to go. Now you can serve, I mean, you can eat it the way it is, or you can serve it like we're gonna do today. We're just gonna put it on some buns with all the juice.
Can I add some maple syrup, Jason?
If you want to, yeah, go ahead. Whatever you want.
Sweeten it up a little bit more. You have to add more, right? You have to keep.
You don't want to be saucy?
Now you got to shred it up.
Jason's gonna put a little barbecue sauce on, because we want a little tomato.
Just gonna add this to the sandwich part, actually.
Oh, are you? Oh, are you? Oh.
We're gonna put a little chipotle habanero barbecue sauce on
Of course
here.
we are.
Yeah.
Of course we are.
Give it a little bit of kick. It's not too hot. It sounds like it's hot, but it's not. We kind of tone it down.
Chipotle is all about flavor, not about the heat.
Exactly,
Yep.
and that's exactly what this is. So we're just gonna put a little bit of the top on the top, and then when we put the pork on the bottom, we'll put the sauce on the top. Yeah, so we're just gonna take some of this. Well, that might be a lot.
That's okay.
You can never have too much.
If it spills over, that means it's a good sandwich.
There you go. Well, why don't we slide one over, cut it in half. We'll give it a taste test, and then
Sure.
we've got a crowd forming once again. Yeah, slice one up. We'll
All right, let's go.
join us for a taste.
All right, here we go.
I call this the chef's treat, but I've learned it's called the Pitmaster privilege.
Pitmaster privilege, yeah.
Nice and hot, right off the grill. That is perfection. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Beauties.
All right,
Cheers.
let's
Good
dig
job.
in. Oh yeah. Oh, I love the chipotle on that barbecue.
Whoa.
sauce.
Gives it an extra kick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not
good.
hot, just full of flavor.
And that pork came out really good, super tender.
That's super tender. Wow.
That is just
It's
the right
like
temperature.
butter.
Perfect. It's perfect. Don't tell anybody else. We got 4 more to get through.
Mr. Blaze here is. Get in
Mr.
here.
Blaze, come on over here.
Should probably have one of these.
You should probably dig in. The Pitman, what does the Pitman have to say about it?
Really fantastic, and I can understand why a lot of vegans would want to pretend they don't want to eat it, but they do want to eat it. And on that note, I'd say thank you very much for.
Who
you
wants
go.
pulled pork sandwiches?
All right. All right, Jason, what can I say? Julie, you guys have been fantastic inviting us over. I didn't know you had friends who can barbecue so good, but apparently they know their way around the grill. So thanks again, man. Everything was awesome. Julie, thanks very much for inviting us over to your place. Guys, what can I say? We cooked a barbecue like I've never seen before. We've had some fantastic food. Thanks for everything. We're going to wrap up with this cast iron. What was the name of this? The official bacon?
Cheesy bacon pan wings.
Cheesy bacon pan wings. Say that 3 times really fast. So once again, guys, thanks for everything. Before I go, though, just in case somebody says, what do you guys do when you're not cooking? You just say, I'm just chilling and grilling with Jeff.
With Jeff.
There you
All
go.
right.
So you gotta wear that one going forward. So if somebody wants to get a hold of some of these recipes or some of the things we did today, what's the best way to contact
So
you?
if you're looking for recipes and knives and a lot of the stuff you saw today, you can check out BBQPitBoys.com. And if you want to experience some of the flavors with the seasonings we have, you can go to every major grocery store and hardware store across Canada.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Dig in.
Let's dig into some wings. Let's dig in.
Wings.
Yeah.